Hey, this is Parrish Randall. You might have seen me play Blythe Remington in The Quick and the Undead, or Dawn in Search of the Dead, running away from those pesky, psychopathic, necrophiliac clowns. You're listening to the Metal Hand of God podcast, and it kicks ass and, as always, rocks.
And welcome back to the Metal Hand of God podcast. I am your host, Wayne, and sitting on the other side of the world, far, far away, drinking a beverage, think of me naked, is...
I'm the Rum Guy.
There you go. All right. And today we have a very cool and awesome guy who doesn't have an N in his name. And it's Mr. Mitch Rafter.
So much expectation.
Oh man, I look, dude. Like I said earlier when we were talking, I sorry, man. I don't know why I kept wanting to put a fucking N in your name. It was the stupidest thing in the world, but I do that.
Yeah, he's never good with names. He's better with faces.
Look, we had one of like the guys that I grew up listening to in music, and on our show, and I was so fucking excited about it, and I butchered his fucking name like 5 times. And I'm like, dude, like I love you. You know, you were like one of my influences as a kid, and I can't say your name right.
And I'm just gonna butcher your name.
Yeah, it was so bad,
I love
dude.
you, but I love you, but butchering your name.
I mean, it was cool though because I just felt bad for him after. I mean, I'll tell you, it was Danny. Oh, I'm gonna butcher his name again.
Butcher it again.
Damn. No, I'm not even gonna say that.
You know what? Don't even worry about it, Wayne.
I'm not gonna say it. He was in Anthrax and he was in fucking SOD. So
it doesn't matter. What we're here about today is this gentleman right here.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We're here. We're supposed to be interviewing you, right?
Oh
yeah.
Wait.
Fuck, I'm so stupid. God. All right, so you are Mitch Rafter.
I am.
You are the proprietor and owner of Gore. Gotta say Gore. Listen to me. Gore. No, Gore Noir Magazine. Correct.
So much cooler.
Well, no, your magazine's fucking cool too.
Well, we actually interviewed a couple people from Guar, so you know.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's another subject. That's one of my most seen bands. I've seen them 11 times. It's fucking retarded.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They're super rad. Yeah, we interviewed Beefcake and one other one.
The other guy in the costume, right?
Yeah.
He had a good name too.
Yeah, Ballsack. Right? Is that his name?
Yes. Oh, it's funny.
So we interviewed Pustulus. That was it.
Oh, okay, cool. The newer guy.
Yeah.
So tell us for those who haven't or aren't familiar with your magazine. First, tell us a little bit about that.
So it's a print magazine. We also do digital. This will actually be 8 years that we've been out.
Oh, congratulations.
It's really niche. We do like artwork, a lot of like artist interviews, music. It's a lot of throwback stuff. So we'll do like, our next one's actually going to be Nightmare on Elm Street that we're going to do a tribute issue to.
Nice.
We have a blood cover that I'm doing for that one. So it's actually like moving blood on top of artwork that
oh wow,
Mike Barentine did. But yeah, it's a lot of just like the movies that I loved, like Nightmare on Elm Street and Texas Chainsaw and They Live and things like that.
Well, I've seen. I know that when I was a young kid, it was one of the type of magazines I used to buy all the time. Was the gore and the horror magazines and stuff. But I don't. They seem to have changed over the years. Yours seems to have stuck with a more of a classic type format, which I think was kind of missing in the newer magazines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to kind of, I'm a niche magazine. I'm not really like looking to make, you know, sell a bunch of magazines. Otherwise, I would be covering, you know, all the James Wan movies. But
Right.
instead, I kind of go with that more nostalgic 80s. We also even do like old black and white stuff too. We have a coffin-shaped issue that we do once a year. So I kind of go for that, you know, kind of gimmicky, like fun, kind of old style that they used to have when people actually bought magazines.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah, that was when they were cool. You could open up. It was like I don't know. It's the same thing with me, and I've said it in the past about cover art on albums.
Music,
you know,
yeah.
Every time you turn the page in one of those older magazines, it was like it was a new cover. It was a new, it was a piece of art every page, which was very, very cool.
Yeah,
and
you gotta have that. You can't have a bunch of ads in the magazine, and it can't. I don't know. It can't be just a bunch of reviews and just looking like you're just pandering to, you know, whoever paying your bills.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the new ones, you open them up and it's like, oh, it's a really halfway decent article. You turn the next page, it's a full Nivea ad. Then there's something for Zit Cream, and you're like,
hey,
where's the next article?
If you can't get it up, try this. Yeah, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I definitely try to go away from that and have, you know, just more fun stuff. That we did like a scratch and sniff cover for Return of the Living Dead.
Dude, tell me it was the girl's red bush. Because
that would have been a second choice, but we did Tarman.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's all right. Okay, all right.
That's probably more.
I'm sorry. You can see where I went with that. My bad.
Yeah. We did interview Linnea Quigley for that.
No shit. That's awesome.
Well, but
that is awesome.
When I think of Return of the Living Dead, I think of Tarman. So
yeah, well, I think of him and her. That's like that was like the.
What ugly children that would be though.
I mean, not together. Not together. Those were two of the most. That in the half dog were like the memorable moments for me as a child. Going, wow, that's fucking fucked up.
Oh, there's a lot of scenes in that you're just like, whoa, what the hell is going on?
And what is the Return of the Night of the Living Dead, and what was the other part 2?
Yeah, part 2 is all right.
It's silly, but the one moment.
It was the Crease 2 of that movie series.
Yeah, right. The one moment in that movie that sticks into my head is the get this goddamn screwdriver out of my head moment. That I was just like, that is fucking funny. You know.
That's what I liked about those movies. You always, you know, no matter, you know, how much blood you threw at the screen, there was actually somewhere in one of there's one moment in every one of those movies you went,
it's like that schlocky,
but that's funny.
It's the schlocky aspect to it, you know. It's like they have a little funny to it, and it can be, you know, scary at moments. It can be serious, and it can be funny all at one time, and that's the genre that I believe that is lost in some of these new horror movies that are out there.
That's what I aim for when it comes to the magazine. It's kind of more towards that like trauma,
right?
Like bloodiness, kind of all of that kind of feel to it. I want it to be more of like a culture magazine as opposed to like just a straight horror magazine where, hey, this new movie's coming out. I'm never gonna do that.
It's a tough. Cool. I mean, the genre has lasted as long as it has for the fans that are out there and people like you putting the time in for it. But it's still one of those. A lot of people aren't familiar with a lot of the things that go on in that world, and it's good to see publications that you can actually go, hey, buddy, read something. Check this out.
Yeah.
Check this out. Yeah. I like to do a lot more towards like the artists, because you would see a lot of like poster art and things like that, but beyond that, you didn't know who the artist was or like how many other posters he's done. There's never really been a lot of like people interviewing those actual artists of that kind of stuff. And we did an interview for all of the Nightmare on Elm Street, the poster artist.
Wow.
We did an interview of him, so his stuff's just amazing.
Yeah. What's the telethon aspect of this thing we're talking about?
So that's actually going to be to because obviously when it comes to print media, it's expensive to put out. Exactly. And I'm not like big corporate backed. I'm not like, I don't have a huge amount of advertisers.
And basically, you're an independent magazine.
Independent completely, paid for by a horror fan and made by a horror fan. So in order to make these magazines, I have to do like interesting stuff to be able to make the money. So we'll do like blood wrestling and slime wrestling shows, like kind of fundraisers. Awesome. This one I thought of, I do a thing called Horror Shopping Network, where I'll just get like products that my friends make and like sell it on the show, and we'll sell the magazines. We'll do like special deals. But this version of the Horror Shopping Network will actually be a telethon, kind of like the old school telethons where they're up there and they'll have like friends on and they'll do like different stuff.
Are you gonna? I can only have one telethon springing into mind right now.
Yeah, me too. Jerry
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm thinking, how messed up would that be if you had some? Oh, that'd be messed up. But whatever.
I know where you were going with that. I will be filling that role.
Nice, okay. Nice. That's beautiful.
It would be kind of funny that you have like these little like maybe ghouly creeped
monsters.
Up people.
Yeah,
and help them out, and they're holding hands. Maybe there's a
help these creatures. They need help. For a mere $1 a day. Yeah, for a mere $1 a day, you could feed this little ghoul.
Yeah, so we'll do like we're gonna do a pre-sale for the Nightmare on Elm Street issue, so that'll be the first time you can get that.
Nice.
It'll be also pretty much the only way you're gonna be able to get the blood-filled cover for the Nightmare on Elm Street issue.
That's what. Cool.
And then we're just gonna be doing giveaways as we go. Like whoever spends the most, this hour will get this for free. It's just gonna be a lot of like giveaways. Like
that's very cool.
And stuff like that. It'll just be a fun time. It's all going to be like a live feed through our Facebook and our Instagram.
When is this going to happen?
So I rescheduled it because I originally had it in January, but I had to reschedule it to February. I'm shooting for February 3rd. There is if you go to our Facebook, there's an event page. So you can be one of the first ones to know, make sure that it's coming up on the 3rd. I want to make sure it was a fun thing that I put enough time into it, and holidays are crazy, so it was hard to put enough time to it and do it in January. So I'm going to push it back, make it something better than what I was planning on. So.
Awesome. I definitely plan on tuning into this because I will participate. That's something fucking really cool. Like I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want a lot of participation, people, messaging us and, just having fun. We're going to probably have beers and pizza and, lots of blood and slime and craziness.
It's not fair. I can't get the beer and pizza, man. I live away in Louisiana. It's not going to happen.
Well, real quick, how did this, without going into crazy detail, did you just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to start a magazine?
Like, fuck it. I want to do a magazine.
So when I was a kid, I was always like one of those like comic book people, and like I was into magazines and like all that kind of stuff. I made my own comic books when I was a little kid, like drew it out. And,
awesome.
And I always wanted to do a magazine, and then I had a clothing line which I wanted to do advertising for, and it was almost cheaper for me to create my own magazine as opposed to paying for an ad in somebody else's. So I was like, you know what? I love horror, and I've always wanted to do a magazine. I had like several ideas for it, so I'm like, I'm just gonna make my own horror magazine and be able to push out the stuff that I love out there.
Very cool. Great. Now the clothing line, is that still around?
Yep. It's not being pushed as much. It's not to do with the magazine. It's its own kind of entity.
Right.
It's called Lucky Fuck.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw Lucky Fuck clothing, and I was just wondering if it was still around. If people could still get some of that too.
Yeah, it's got so you do Lucky Dash Fuck, so it has to have that little dash in between, or else you'll be at a porn site. Lucky-fuck.com, and we have hats, we have booty shorts, and shirts. And I too have booty shorts. Doing more of that.
Yes, I think you should order some Lucky Fuck booty shorts and wear them.
I think that's almost a must.
That is like the best advertisement for this gentleman.
Or a career killer, one of the two.
Either or. It could help, but it could not. We don't know.
Either way, we're helping you out.
Exactly. Yes, we're helping out by buying a pair. We may be the last pair you ever sell, but it's something.
Well, there's something else you're involved with too, and it's the Nosferatu festival.
Yeah, so I created the Nosferatu Festival. As you can see, I have a lot of projects.
You sound
I was
like
gonna say, how about another iron to put in the fire?
Hey, you sound like us, dude. It's perfect. It's great. We love it.
Yeah, Nosferatu has been like, he's one of my favorite vampires ever, and
Yeah.
Isn't the only
like-
vampire, really? Come on.
he's one of the first.
Yep.
Now, so it originally came out in 1922. Originally aired screened in the U.S. in 1929. So it took a little while for it to get to the U.S. So this year is 90 years since it first screened.
Wow.
And when it originally screened, there was actually a Nosferatu festival that they had. So everybody was encouraged to dress up in a certain way, and they made it like an event to screen this movie. And I was like, that sounds awesome. Like, I want to have like a Nosferatu festival and like have that every year up until the 100 years, which will be 2022, will be 100 years since it first screened. So,
wow.
Well, I got something kind of interesting to share with you about this, which I found out, which is kind of cool. My grandfather, on my mom's side, was a traveling piano player for silent films.
oh,
Dude, that's
and
cool.
he traveled when this movie was released in the U.S. to all bunch of different locations to play the piano up front at the theaters.
wow, that's awesome.
And there's a picture I have to find, apparently, of him as a young man with the cast of the movie.
Whoa.
Whoa, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah,
was
we
like, well,
actually have, for the Nosferatu Festival, I have one of my friends working on a soundtrack that it's going to be kind of like synthy, kind of dark. And instead of being black and white, it's going to be red, black and white. So it's going to have a red cast over the whole thing.
Okay.
A blood red version. So it'll be like a Gore Noir Nosferatu.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
I remember when, or do you probably remember this too, when Typo Negative did with David Carradine, and they did a musical tribute to that movie.
Yep, I actually have that on VHS. I was thinking about having like the last day where it's like a VHS screening of it, and then just popping that on possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I always thought that was so cool. As soon as I saw it, it was like I have it on VHS and I've got it on DVD. I was like, every year I watch it.
So random with Dave Carradine opening.
It was so bizarre.
I was just like, okay, I guess it works.
Yeah, it was like, what? How do you get David Carradine? He's probably high.
Oh yeah, you think?
And he was met Peter Steele at a bar somewhere, and they ended up on the tour bus, and he's like, I mean, we should just hang out and watch Nosferatu.
David, we need to watch this movie.
This is a great idea.
David.
And then they produced it. It was like, no one's going to buy this. And then all of a sudden it became this underground cult classic thing to buy if you like the band, you love the movie. And for some reason you might like David Carradine. This is the trifecta.
The trifecta.
Well, that's really cool though. I mean, that's, that event, that's going to be held where?
It's in Austin, Texas, where I'm based out of right now.
Okay.
It'll be May 31st, June 1st and 2nd. Right now I'm having a little bit of issue with the website, but you can find the event page through the Gore Noir Facebook. So if you do facebook.com/Gore Noir, NOIR, you'll see the event page there, and you can click that you're going, and then share it with all of your friends.
Well, that's awesome, man. That's very, very cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool. We're going to do those 3 different screenings, a different screening each night. We'll have a kickoff party. We're going to have like some kind of like circusy kind of games that are all Nosferatu kind of themed. We'll have a bunch of stuff going on. So
you know, man, like this is kind of a weird thing. Is like seems like everyone that we talk to that's in the horror business, it's from fucking Texas.
That's true.
Like, I'm serious. Like, we're really good friends with, I don't know if you know Billy Pond, who did Circus of the Dead, and like the gentleman who played Noodle Dome in the movie is actually the guy who does all of our graphic work on our show, and his name's Ryan, and it's like everybody we've met, and basically
super nice.
Yeah, and it's everybody we've met through basically Lloyd Cryer from Texas Frightmare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like we've all become these friends, and it's just been like, it's really cool that like we've met all these people and it's everybody from fucking Texas that's in horror movies. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, we have no horror film people over here.
It's surprising. He's in New Orleans.
I'm in New Orleans.
I'm up near Wilmington, North Carolina.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I have yet to be to New Orleans, but I definitely want to go.
Come, dude. If you look, if we actually have a horror film festival down here. It happens every year. You should come one time, man.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. I need to get out a little bit more. I mean, I'm originally from San Francisco. I've lived in Hollywood, but it seems like as far as the horror community that wants to create things, I think Texas has been the most like welcoming and like that. It's been like I've created all this stuff because of all these cool people that are like, yes, we want this.
Right.
It's amazing.
Now, do you think Texas because it's so big, or the people are creepy?
I think it's because of the people that are in Texas. There's a lot of I don't know, like the I guess you would call like square bears, and then you kind of just to like rebel against those kind of people. People want to do like the complete opposite. So there was a lot of like punk rock early.
Nice.
I learned a lot about Texas over the book, but yeah, a lot of like punk rock and like obviously like Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
right?
Things like that kind of people just got into, and I think that's what kind of blossomed to what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, some of the best people we know are from Texas, man. So that's pretty cool.
Great. Texas, number one.
Yay! not.
I've been out here for 6 years, so it's like outside of California, it's the place I've lived the most. So.
That's cool. I mean, it's not. I'm not down anybody out here, of course, because I mean, I have friends that are in the movie business, and they do. Most of them do special effects stuff. I got a really really close friend of mine. He does like the exploding shit in like big budget films. Like he blows up stuff in big budget movies.
Nice.
And he's always telling me about what actors are assholes and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that, but it's really funny to hear him say that about some of these people, like Oprah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are complete assholes that I'm just like, I'm just not going to throw them under the bus, but like you could be a lot cooler.
Yeah, well, I give two shits about Oprah, so I know she's an asshole. I could tell she is.
He has to give things away just to make friends.
Right, exactly.
I mean, if I had Oprah money, no, I'm just kidding. I would never be an asshole.
I don't know. Oprah money turns everybody to an asshole, I think.
There's something in the ink.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Oprah money. That's going to be the title of this episode.
Oprah money.
Mitch Rafter and the Oprah money.
Like I turned into like Gollum from the Lord of the Rings.
My precious,
my money,
it's mine.
So I was going to ask you real quick though. What do you think of the movies that are coming out now in the genre? What any thoughts? Like
anything like you really like?
Yeah.
It's very split as far as like some of the movies that are coming out. You can tell the ones that are like made to just make money. But there's a lot of ones that are kind of pushing stuff and going in good directions. Like I really like Deathgasm. That came out a little while ago. Turbo Kid really isn't super horror, but it was super splattery.
And it was
really rad.
That was a fantastic movie. I loved it.
Yeah. You saw Deathgasm too?
Yeah, that's the death metal kid, right?
Yeah.
Was the band? Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that one was cool. That was out of New Zealand. Both of those are kind of New Zealand, Canadian. Hereditary was really good. I liked Hereditary.
I like that movie.
I haven't seen that. Everyone says it's fantastic, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's a mind fuck.
Really?
It is, and it's got classic scare tactics in that movie.
Nice.
Yeah, it's atmospheric. You got to like put your phone away and just watch.
Yeah, do not be disturbed while watching that movie, and pay attention to everything. Because you don't realize how much you missed until the end.
Exactly. You're just like, oh wait, what? Huh? What
And understand at the end shows you how stupid you were through the entire movie.
Pretty much.
I was in a theater. I'm with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women. I'm sitting in the theater with five women, and I look to my right, and 3 of them have their knees tucked up to their ears, and they're sitting there watching Hereditary, and then they get to the certain scenes, and they're like, "Oh, well, that was unexpected. Oh my God!" And it was just completely. And then I had to go out and had to explain why all this was happening because they watched it and they didn't get it. I'm like, okay, well, this is what this was going on.
Those are my favorite movies where I have to explain to somebody what happened.
But it was.
You pretty much have to watch it again yourself too to explain to yourself.
Yeah, because I was sitting there trying to process it and was like, I understand, and then it was just there was so much just weird gratuity in that movie.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It had there was a lot of scenes where you're like, oh, something's gonna happen. Oh, nope, nothing happened.
But it was just
like, oh, this is cool. They're like, oh. Shit.
For weeks we just hide places and go. Because that's what the little girl did in the whole movie.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I get it.
Yeah, you're like the odd man out.
Right. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, that's funny. What the fuck are you doing?
What about things like big? I'd say big production horror things like The Nun.
See, I am not a huge James Wan fan. I'm not a huge fan of that whole universe. Like, I understand it's not made for me; it's made for someone else.
Right. It's not for everybody for sure. I actually haven't seen it yet, so that's why I was asking your opinion.
Me neither. I saw some of The Conjuring and some of those other movies, and I just call it horror light is what I call it. So it's kind of like a gateway drug to me, and I'm like, that's fine if it gets people into the genre, that's cool. But it's just not for me really. If it's a psychological horror or supernatural. It needs to be done a certain way. Hereditary, I feel did it the right way. But if it's nonstop, just jump scares and just silly characters and just if you're gonna be comedy, be comedy. If you're not, don't.
I find those are kind of the ones that are pointed towards the teens. Exactly. The I Know What You Did Last Summer slasher flicks and the PG-13 horror films. I think that falls in line with, like you said, exactly the teens and the because it's the same people that went. I can't say anything because I also watched them, but Teen
I know what
movie?
you remember the another teen movie type of thing.
Yeah.
Feel but that's my forbidden pleasures.
I watch those too. I'm not gonna lie. I watch a lot of fucking movies, dude. I watch some shit.
Yes, you do.
And I have problems where my problem is my wife hates this is when I put a movie on, I have to finish it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care
if it's horrible.
I don't care how bad it is.
It hasn't been too many times where I've turned off a movie. Sometimes I'll fall asleep if I put it on too late, but that's about it.
But then do you wake up and you're like, where the fuck was I? And I start it again?
Worst movie ever. No, it's not. My number 2 worst movie was that piece of crap you made me watch called Rubber.
I loved Rubber.
It was awful.
Come on, man. It wasn't bad.
I would have rather had my nipples cut off.
It was horrible. All right, what was your number 1 worst?
It was called Duncan's World.
Duncan's? I don't know that.
Okay, it's an 80s movie, and it's so slow. Quick cap of this movie. It sounds exciting, just in the description. The mother and father were botanists. Their son had no one to play with, so he created an imaginary world where he plays with his little toy army guys and stuff like this. But he slowly develops into trying. He's like the worst serial killer ever. He wants to kill a cat, but he can't catch it. And then at the end of the movie, he just basically, we're watching this. Then he has the Ferris Bueller moment where he turns the camera and goes, "I guess it's just not for me." And that's how the movie ends. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch?
I don't need to watch it now.
Oh, it's horrid.
You did good. Thank you. I'm good with that. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
I always spoil that one just so people don't waste their time.
that's kind of like a Donnie Darko moment.
Oh, it was awful. Awful piece of garbage.
Like I like Donnie Darko. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying it was like that weird. Like okay, well, why is he a rabbit? What is this?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's cool. It's really digging the magazine concept. That's awesome, and they're doing the Nosferatu festival. That's super cool. Do you get to go, or do you? I'm sure you do go to Texas Frightmare.
Oh yeah. We've been going every year. We have a booth every year.
All right. Well, this year when I go there this year, I'm coming to talk to you.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah, I will, dude. Because like we go, we've been the last 3 or 4. I missed last year's, unfortunately, but that was unforeseen reasons we couldn't go. But yeah, we go every year usually as well. Me and my wife and kid. So I'm definitely gonna come see you this year, man. Come talk to you.
Yeah, come by. We're usually in the main room, towards the back.
Okay.
By the zombie gear booth. That's where he usually puts us, but we'll see if he puts us there this year. But yeah, we've been doing it for the past we've done it like 4 or 5 years.
Nice. But then I've probably seen you. I just, being the fact that I didn't know you at the time, So.
Yeah, we're not it's, slowly but surely getting out there. It's all word of mouth and, promo. It's not like we're, I'm self-distributed and it's all kind of goes that way. We do have quite a bit of people on our Facebook and our Instagram, but Facebook and Instagram kind of screw any kind of business out of.
Yeah, fuck their algorithm.
Like we're at about 29,000 on Facebook, and
cool.
We're at about 15,000 on Instagram. So
nice.
Yeah,
we're all going back to MySpace.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'll go back to MySpace
because you know what? It's still there.
Yeah, it is.
And it's actually cooler because you can design your own fucking. It's basically small websites.
Yeah. It was actually purchased by Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, it was, but he didn't do too much with it. So,
well,
let's bring sexy back.
Let's do it. Bringing sexy back. Ah!
What's funny is I went and I typed in. I looked up my old MySpace stuff and I typed it in, and my old stuff came up. I'm like, holy shit, it's still floating out there.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to go to these little pirate sites and pull out like little different recorders and like pirated music and stick it on your MySpace page. It's still on there.
Really?
Yes, it's like I need to record all these songs.
I wish I knew my fucking passwords, dude. It's like retarded.
Oh, it's so cool. Just all I have to do is type in the Rum Guy MySpace page and it pops right up.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. For Lucky Fuck, that was like the first thing I had it on was MySpace. That's how far back that goes.
And it's funny because people are using MySpace on my site that I don't know that are trying to do hookups now.
That's great. That's good. That's good. Well, look.
Let's do MySpace.
Yeah. Mitch, you know what we're gonna we do this with most of our guests and stuff like that. But like since you have your mag and stuff, what we're gonna do is we are going to definitely advertise you on our website. Like we do that as like we have a little section called Friends of the Show. We'll put a fucking link to your magazine. We'll put a link to your clothing line. We'll do everything we can to help you out, man.
You guys are awesome. That's why I love horrors because everybody helps everybody. It's kind of a big community, and that's basically the reason why I got into it. Just because I love horror, and then once you start meeting more of the community, it's like I want to promote these people. I want to help these guys out. And the same for you too. So
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and like I said, we're not a huge show, but we like to help everybody out. Anything we can do for anybody. It's like you guys take the time out to come on our show, and that's the least what we can do.
Absolutely, and I'll promote you guys as soon as you get any stuff up. Like, let me know.
Oh yeah, as soon as this episode airs, man, I'll send it to everybody. You'll have it. But we know you got to cut out. We know you got to get out of here pretty soon because you got other meetings and all this other fancy shit you got to do. Because you're a fucking important guy, Mitch Rafter.
Yeah. I'm just gonna slowly but surely just start adding more letters to my name.
You should. Like different ones would be really cool,
Just sliding them in there, people.
Rafnerowski.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can be a little ethnicity. Just add some different ethnicity to you. Oh, we're
whatever
so stupid.
Feeling like today I'm feeling German.
Yeah.
How would,
It would be Rafna Kaufman.
Rafnowski!
Well, my other name is German, so
Oh,
I don't
well,
even
there
put
you
it
go.
up there because nobody will ever be able to pronounce it.
It's like if you spell my actual last name, it's primarily all consonants.
Yeah, it is.
Mine actually means blood heart, so it's actually kind of cool, but
Damn.
nobody will be able to pronounce it.
Mine means fiddler.
Mine means naked ass. I mean, I'm sorry. Mine sucks.
Oops.
Thanks, guys. Fuck y'all with your fancy names.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Anyway.
Haven't watched Hereditary.
I know, right? I ain't doing shit lately. God, this sucks.
Join the cool crew. Come
I
on.
know, man. I gotta get a new last name. I gotta fucking watch some good movies. What the fuck is wrong with me?
At least you got a checklist.
Right.
Right.
To do. So anyway, Mitch, I know you got to run, dude. Look, we appreciate you coming on the show, and sharing with us all your stuff at your magazine and everything. And for anybody who wants to go and check out your magazine and your clothing line and the festival and the telethon, can you give them some places to go find it real quick?
Absolutely. So the magazine, you can do Gore, GORENOIR.com. The Facebook is facebook.com/GORENOIR. If you go to that Facebook, you'll also find the Nosferatu Festival there. The websites will be back up. It's going to be nosferatufest.com, and there's also nosferatufestival.com. The clothing line is lucky-fuck.com. Don't forget the dash in the middle. And we are on Instagram for all of that too. You could find that through the websites. The Instagram for Gore Noir is GORENOIR, Gore Noir Mag, MAG. There's no .com on there. I don't know why I was going to try to throw a .com.
Just to throw us off.
Just because it was fun.
Tricky bitch.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun.
Tricky.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
No problem. Appreciate you guys.
And I will be seeing you at Frightmare for sure.
Yes, Frightmare is going to be so rad. Everybody who's going to Frightmare, stop by the Gore Noir booth and buy some shit.
That's right.
It's a call to arms. Support independent horror media.
Always. Always.
Right.
Oh.
But cool, man. So I guess we'll talk to you soon.
Cool. All right, guys.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.
And that was Mr. Mitch Rafter. I said Rafter. Ah! Mitch Rafter. God damn it. I am
like a rafter. It was simple. It's a dude in a boat. Rafter.
I get it. Or it could be a raptor. I don't know.
Or in a ceiling. No, that's a different word.
He could be a hip-hop artist, a rapper. I'm just saying. God.
Super interesting guy, though. It was very fun.
He was very cool.
The stuff he's doing is really, really cool. Check out that telethon. It's like you said, it's going to be done on Facebook Live, but you'll get all that information. Go to the websites that he told you about. Make sure you read up on it. They're doing a lot of cool giveaways.
Yeah. I think I'm going to probably subscribe to his magazine, dude, because I really dig the stuff that he's doing, so I'll probably end up getting some,
That's cool, and everybody out there listening should. It's something fun, something different. It's also that one thing you can have on your coffee table to make when their friends come over, they might get a little creeped out, like,
"Yo, what the fuck is that?" Yeah,
yeah. You have Better Homes and Garden,
right?
O Magazine and Gore Noir.
Why the O Magazine? Because I brought up fucking Oprah. God,
yeah, because you brought up Oprah.
Well, speaking of something creepy and something like completely that grosses out your friends.
Oh, we are going to talk about Oprah.
And no, I'm not talking about Oprah. I'm talking about this segment that's coming up right here, right on our show. The Englie News. It's coming up right now. It brought to you by Mad Mart Flanagan, the one thing that grosses everybody out. I don't know if that was a good intro for him, but it was pretty fucking funny. I've been giving him shit about being Englie, like I always do. So.
Oh, that's funny.
But anyway, here's his segment for the Englie News.
From the land of hobbits and wizards Combs Englie news and other shit with Mad Mart Flanagan.
Most everyone's mad.
Hi guys, I'm Mark Flanagan, here we are again with another edition of the Englie News. Now first and foremost, many apologies for my gruff tones today instead of my usual beautiful English tones. I've been a little sick and I've only just got my voice back, so you'll have to put up with it and listen to the gravel for a little while. So, first things first, now as some of you'll be aware, England's known for its many ancient sites of interest and beauty, from medieval castles to the majestic Stonehenge. What some of you may not know is there are many stone circles all across the country, all varying in age and significance. My first story is about one of these smaller circles. Now, a stone circle thought to be thousands and thousands of years old, it turns out to be a little bit more modern than people realised. The recumbent stone circle, as it's known in Aberdeenshire, was reported by the site's current farm with unusual features, including its small diameter and proportionally small stones. So in other words, a tiny Stonehenge. The Historic Environmental Scotland and Aberdeenshire's Council's Archaeology Service celebrated it as an authentic discovery and continued their research until being contacted by the former owner, who let them know, in no uncertain circumstances, that he had built the stone circle in the mid-1990s. Now Aberdeenshire Council are still saying that they're going to put this down on record as being a stone circle, even though they're fully aware of it only being just over 30 years old. So, some things in England may not be as they appear. Next up, now I'm going to have to post pictures of this for you to get the full impression of what I'm talking about. So if you look on the Englie News and other shit on Facebook, there are going to be pictures posted when this episode goes live. So, a police force has been mocked mercilessly online after releasing an e-fit of a burglary suspect whose social media users claim looks more like E.T. the extraterrestrial. The female crook is wanted in connection with a burglary, but web users say she bears such an uncanny resemblance to the alien from Steven Spielberg's classic that is all anybody's talking about. Others have compared the image with its long neck to Harry Potter's baddie Voldemort. Staffordshire police have now been inundated with over 400 comments, with several positive pictures of the 1982 film. Andy Wallace said, "Someone find this woman urgently, she needs to phone home." Simon Swiss Tony Wright put, the getaway vehicle was apparently a BMX that had a shopping basket in front of it. John Stanway said, "I don't think E.T. is going to phone the police." And others suggested that X-Files characters Mulder and Scully would be better suited to tracking down the suspect. Vicky Hudson said, "One for Mulder and Scully from the X-Files, I think." And Alan Tamsput said, "If I see her, I won't be calling Staffordshire police, I'll be calling Mulder and Scully." Now, I promise you, this is not what the general public of England is like normally. But let's face it, when you see the picture, you'll know why people were saying it. And here we go to our last story. An Irishman injected himself with his own semen for 18 months as part of some absurd bid to cure himself of back pain. Now, some of us would use pain medication, some people might use the chiropractor, or even, I don't know, acupuncture. But injecting yourself with your own semen, I don't know what these people are thinking. Apparently doctors discovered the man's bizarre home remedy after he turned up to hospital with a swollen, abscessed arm in addition to his chronic back condition. While his main complaint was his back pain, the man's arm was found to be so swollen with semen that it had leaked in the surrounding tissues from the failed injections, and his last dose had been a triple. The man told doctors about his semen cure and admitted to his innovative treatment, which he'd been carrying out for a year and a half. Now, what person in their right mind comes to the conclusion that as bad as their back pain is, they've got the best idea to make sure this back pain goes away? At what point does anybody wake up and think, I know what I'm going to do? I'm going to inject my own semen into my arm to cure my back pain. This shit just keeps getting stranger. Well, there we have it, folks. I am running out of vocal cords. So I hope you've enjoyed this short journey into the primitive minds of our beautiful island. Thanks once again for tuning in. And as always, if you have any other questions or want to know anything about what's happening in England or has happened in England at the time, find me on Facebook at the Englie News and Other Shit and send me a message, or alternatively, message the MHOG podcast directly and we'll get right back to you. So, thanks very much, and I'll let you get back to work.
Most everyone's mad.
And that was the little bit of the Englie news right there.
Oh, Mart.
Oh, Mart, you were such a fun guy.
He's awesome.
He hates us. I really
No,
do.
he loves us. He loves me. I think he hates you.
No, I really think he loves us, but he hates us too.
It's
like I know for a fact that like he would give his left testicle if he had one to us if we needed it.
That's nice.
But he wouldn't come out here and let Gary fuck him in the ass. So I don't understand, how much he loves us, but I know he hates us too. Yeah, so that was the English segment,
I think I'm digging the segments, man. Everybody's doing a great job on them.
Yep, and we're gonna have some new stuff because we have
it's
a couple.
Fun.
Like everybody's so excited to do a segment. Like we're actually now. I don't know if everybody. I think we announced it last show that Kyle is moving away. He's moving to L.A. He will be on the show. He'll be Skyping in with me and Rum and whoever else.
Where's the hip people call it? La.
Yeah, La. And hopefully, this is awesome. I'm really proud of him. Like I want him to succeed. I want him to go to LA and make it his bitch. Is basically what I want him to do.
Or at least a close friend.
Yeah. But like he's gonna Skype in, but he's gonna have a segment too. We're gonna do something like Kyle, goes to LA or life in LA. We're gonna figure it out. And his brother, who is also Kevin, Kevin the champ, he or he likes to say champ. Champ. He's going to have a new segment, called A Rant with the Champ.
Yeah.
But that's going to be on the show, but he also is going to be a host as well still, So it's a work in progress, guys. We've got like everybody wants to do little segments and things, and I think it's really fun, and I'm having a blast with it.
We're growing the family. We're getting more people involved. And I think it's exactly on track and where we need to be going, and we're just happy to have everybody, coming into the fold. I think it's great.
I agree.
So awesome, man! Good show tonight.
Yeah, it was fun, man. We had a good time. We met somebody interesting and fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool.
I don't know how much he's gonna like us.
I think we're doing all right.
I think so too.
Killed his name.
Mitch Ratner.
Rafter.
Hip hopper.
You're thinking Gilda Radner.
I am.
Weirdo.
I don't know why. It's just to me, his name should be Rafner.
Well, yes, maybe, but that's not.
But that's to me, We all know it's Rafter.
So you are going to Texas Frightmare this year?
That's the plan, man. That's the plan.
Awesome.
That's the plan.
That's awesome.
We'll have our yearly passes and stuff and see what happens. Hopefully we can get in there and do some, talking to some people and,
That'll be nice, man. We'll definitely stop by and see Mitch.
Oh yeah, because like we'll do the video like we did last time, and I'll get him on it for sure. Now I don't know if Billy's going to be there this year. I know he will have a booth though.
Well, I hope he's feeling better.
Me too. You know, if anybody else wants to go look on Facebook, type in Billy Pond and look up his GoFundMe. He needs all the help he can get. If you guys can help him out, he's got cancer. He needs help with bills. So if anybody can give him a hand, $1 or $2 here always helps. But anyway, you know, enough of that. I think it's time to say goodbye, Jeeves.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think it's that time.
I'm tired. I need to get some food in me. My birthday's Friday.
Is it Friday?
Yeah.
Like this coming Friday.
This Friday, man. This Friday.
Wow, man. Well, congratulations. You're still here.
Yeah, I know. I'm shocked.
Any day above the ground is a blessing.
I'm happy that I'm here. And all
got a nice
stuff.
family
to bury me. Yes.
To bury you, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, now's the time to start thinking about that stuff.
Oh God, I hope it ain't the time. That's morbid as fuck.
Well, we just had Gore Noir Magazine on the show. It's time to.
Oh yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So,
but well, that's good though. What do we? You should do something. Go out to dinner.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're doing. Caitlin hadn't told me anything. I don't know what we're gonna do. We might go eat something.
Don't blow a cupcake. Don't blow out a cupcake.
Don't blow a cupcake.
God,
I'm gonna have. If I blow
all the kids are using today.
If I
blow a cupcake.
If I blow a cupcake, I might end up with a lot of white icing in my mouth. It's a cream field.
Oh, you're so awesome.
Oh, so good. So good.
Oh my God. So
yucky.
good.
Yucky.
Oh, well, I remember those two. Steve.
Steve and his brother. That was the dumbest shit, but it was so funny to us.
They should come back someday. They were awesome.
I think we should bring them back.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
One of these fucking days.
You know what? It'd be great if we should. Oh no, it won't translate now. That's fine. But anyway, like I said, good night, good show.
Yeah,
great
guys.
guest.
Thank you guys for joining us. I was your host, Wayne.
And I'm the Rum Guy.
And remember, as always, to keep it.
That's it.
Get the fuck